Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Sandy. These high-magnitude coastal storms devastated parts of the eastern and Gulf coasts. Many even expect disastrous storms to increase in their intensity during the next century. Stronger storms lead to stronger storm surges, which increase the risk of flooding for communities along our coast and potentially increase the cost to rebuild. After Hurricane Sandy, the United States Congress passed a law mandating an evaluation of measures to reduce flood risk from coastal storm surges. The law directed the Corps of Engineers to conduct a study to advance coastal storm risk management strategies for vulnerable coastal populations. This is the North Atlantic Coast Comprehensive Study. Through this study, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers worked with its federal, state, local, and tribal partners to produce a risk management framework, create several risk management products, and develop recommendations to assist the nation in managing the risk of future coastal storm damage. One of the major goals of the comprehensive study was to produce a coastal storm risk management framework. This framework is meant to help decision makers identify vulnerabilities, compare risk management measures, and implement the best solution, or in most cases, suite of solutions. Developed to be customizable, the framework can be implemented at smaller watersheds by incorporating state and local priorities, refined data sets, and site-specific analyses. Ultimately, this framework can be used as a common planning tool in anticipation of the next big storm, to help reduce risk and promote resilience. The framework is supported by several products that assist decision makers. These products include a geospatial database, numerical models of extreme water levels, an environmental and cultural resources conditions report, and an assessment of natural and nature-based features, to name a few. As an example of how these products can be used, when decision makers are going through the framework, one step will be to characterize the existing conditions in order to analyze the vulnerability. With the help of tools such as the geospatial database and the environmental and cultural resources conditions report, it's possible to define the physical and geomorphic setting, compile flood probability data, and establish baseline conditions. Other products can be used to identify and evaluate possible solutions, develop performance metrics and cost estimates, and establish decision criteria that allow for the selection of a risk management plan. The comprehensive study includes a summary of key findings, outcomes, and opportunities. One key finding is our partners' acknowledgement that coastal storm risk management is a shared responsibility, and that all levels of government, businesses, nonprofits, and the public must work together to manage risk. Other key findings include the fact that drainage and riverine interactions are a critical part of coastal risk management, and that combinations of measures are much more effective in reducing risk than reliance on a single solution. The outcomes of the study, in addition to the framework and products, include strengthened interagency collaboration and annexes of state-level analyses and data to provide stakeholders the information needed to develop and evaluate local risk reduction strategies. And finally, the opportunities identified by the study include prioritizing critical infrastructure, creating incentive programs and public-private partnerships, and the identification of 9 focus areas along the North Atlantic coast warranting further analysis. Hurricane Sandy revealed where the vulnerabilities exist, both now and into the future. With projected population increases, climate change, and institutional barriers to comprehensive coastal storm risk management, the risk to residents and infrastructure will continue to increase. Local municipalities were the first to feel the impacts of Hurricane Sandy and are also the first line of defense in hazard mitigation planning. Local governments now have the opportunity to lead a new era of coastal storm risk management through intensive and proactive pre-storm initiatives. Governments must commit to wise land use planning and zoning, floodplain utilization, and evacuation preparedness. Integration of a common coastal storm risk management framework, evaluations of blended solutions and adaptations, and collaborative strategic investments in coastal storm risk management will all help make possible resilient, thriving communities. Our citizens, our businesses, and our local and regional economies cannot afford to wait.